Super Bowl 60 is fast approaching, and you can bet on every moment of Super Bowl glory. Every trip to that end zone matters more than ever, as the Seahawks and the Patriots are going head-to-head. And DraftKings Sportsbook has all your favorite ways to bet touchdowns for Super Bowl 60. The next great Super Bowl touchdown is coming, and you can bet on every moment of glory. New customers, bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use the code SONNEN. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Stay in on the action and use your bonus bets on DraftKings same-game parlays for a shot at an even bigger payout. Love the thrill of live betting? Bet live on star player props and in-progress games right as they happen. If sports betting is not yet available in your state, don't worry. You can still join in on all the fun with DraftKings Daily Fantasy Sports and have a shot to win cash prizes. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. New customers, use my promo code SONNEN and bet just $5 on any wager and get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. That's promo code SONNEN only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Paddy teased Hooker and then called out Saint Denis. All right, let's unpack this. Now, I got to tell you, this might have not been the overarching point Paddy was trying to make. Paddy talks a lot. He does a lot of interviews. He does his own podcast. But this one clip is going around the internet. And Paddy says he's glad that Hooker lost after all that trash he was chatting. And he said, I imagine Hooker was glad a week ago when I got beat up. I'm glad that he got beat up. And then Paddy said, I kind of like the matchup with Saint Denis. Talk about for himself. Kind of like the matchup. Not a strong call out, but he is now associated with himself with Saint Denis. And I felt like he was going the wrong direction. In the UFC, this is a policy, right? We fiercely adhere to the rules that we make up as we go, but in a broad stroke, if you win your previous fight, you will take on a guy who won his previous fight. If you lost your previous fight, you will take on a guy who lost his previous fight. It's a pretty hard and fast. Now, again, exceptions, but it did stand out to me. When Paddy teased Hooker, I assumed he was lining up a fight with Hooker, which, by the way, works all day long. But Paddy teased Hooker, and then sincerely, right, he didn't do this as a way of getting the fight. He was sincerely dismayed. Well, guy won't be in my future now that he got beat. And I'm going, well, Paddy, hold on a second. You also got beat. I don't know that you were going to draw into Saint Denis. Now, while I say that, Paddy Tsarukyan works all day long. And if Paddy is going strategically, and Paddy's a player, like Paddy gets the business. If Paddy strategically, to get himself right back through the line and in line for a title shot, which, by the way, as a massive star, he can do, right? If Diego Lopez only has to do one fight in between title shots, Paddy can find a way to only do one fight in between. But would that be Saint Denis? I don't think so. I'm missing that. I'm kind of asking you guys a question. If I have this wrong, let me know. And sometimes I do have my pulse. Sometimes I do have my thumb off the pulse. So I'm asking you a question here. Like, does Paddy versus Saint Denis do something for you? And moreover, in comparison to other matches that you could have, like, you could make a very strong case for Paddy versus Tsarukyan. You could. Now you would need cooperation. That's not going to be the UFC's idea, because, again, they're not going to look at a guy that lost versus Tsarukyan, who's kind of the consensus number one contender. You're not going to do that. But with Paddy's help, you could get there very quickly, right? Paddy has a rare ability. If Paddy was to call for that fight, he could get it. Saint Denis mentioned Tsarukyan's name. Saint Denis, who is playing the very game that I suggest for you Paddy play, called out Tsarukyan as a way of knowing, at least believing in his heart, that would be a number one contenders fight. And Saint Denis went in a few different areas. Saint Denis had a really good night, but I did get confused with his messaging. In the ring, I believed he had called for Charles Oliveira and a BMF title, which meant he's predicting that Charles is going to beat Max. That's what I believed I heard. I had other people tell me, hey, Chael, you heard that wrong. He called for Charles Oliveira or a BMF title match, which meant he was kind of hedging his bet in case Max won. But he didn't say Max by name. That part I am very confident at. He goes to the post-fight press conference and spread it around a little bit. Said he was interested in Charles or Max, whoever was the BMF champion. But he would like to fight Ilia or Gaethje, and he's willing to fight Tsarukyan if that doesn't work out. And that's hard messaging. I think Saint Denis was leveling with us. I think he was speaking very honestly. He had covered this statement by saying, I'm fully focused on anyone in the top 5. So then he mentioned all the guys in the top 5. I'm only sharing with you that's a hard message. Like if you're a Saint Denis fan, you don't really know which direction to point the cannon today. That's one thing that's really important when you do a call out. It's not that you get the whole world on your side, that you get your social media, your people, your fans to like it and all go in one direction. And I don't know what that direction would be for Saint Denis. I don't mind any of those matches, by the way. Like Saint Denis versus Oliveira works for me, whether Oliveira wins against Max or not. The same thing would be true with Saint Denis versus Max. Whether Max beats Oliveira or not, that matchup works for me. But I don't know where to go because I don't know what he wants. And the same thing is true for Paddy. And Paddy gets a little bit of a pass. Like, Paddy doesn't have to let us know what he wants to do. When he decides what he wants to do, Paddy has a rare ability to let us all know. I just think that his idea that he could dismiss Hooker. Hey, me and Hooker's business is done because that guy lost. I think that part was a miss. I believe that Hooker versus Paddy is now eligible and possibly even likely because Hooker lost.